I would like to give a shout out to every single YouTuber and person who gets ready before filming their videos. Alright friends, let's jump right in. As many of you know, I just got back from France like 3 days ago, and I'm leaving tomorrow for Vegas for the Electric Daisy Carnival and also to turn 21, so stay tuned for those vlogs. This is gonna be a video 100%, nothing held back, like full on review of my study abroad program, plus a little bit of a move out vlog. Oh my gosh, I hate this. I'm getting ready to move out. It's a move out vlog. I'm excited to film this, but I'm really not excited to leave.
We're graduating. We're graduating. It's over. We're walking down. This is our graduation ceremony.
I'm really getting into it, y'all. I'm really doing it. Oh my gosh.
I love having stuff everywhere. De l'expérience des études étrangères ou comme tu veux. C'était très bien. Pourquoi est-ce que tu aimes d'avoir des étudiantes ici? Parce que ça me fait du bien moralement. Ah, ok. Moi, ça me fait du bien. Et puis, je découvre des gens qui sont sympathiques. Ah, ok, c'est bon. C'est bon, voilà. Merci pour tout ce semestre. Mouah. Et Pierre, est-ce que tu veux dire quelque chose pour réjassis là?
Oui, sûrement que je veux.
Ici?
Ah, tu t'en
Voilà, ok, comme
Qu'est-ce que tu veux que je te dise? Alors, je suis très heureux d'avoir fait une expérience supplémentaire des 2 jeunes filles étudiantes américaines qui sont venues dans notre maison. Elles nous ont appris beaucoup de choses, même si c'est pas en français.
Ah oui, oh c'est bon.
Voilà.
Merci pour tout ce semestre.
Je t'en prie. Je t'en prie.
Merci. C'est parfait. So first, I hope that I just don't forget anything. And second, this is not really organized in a way that I'm like the pros and the cons or whatever. It's just like, I'm throwing it all at ya. I'm gonna begin with the struggle of not having a job while I was abroad. So if you know me, you know that I am a hard worker and I like to have a, a cash flow. I have had at least one job at all times since the age of like 16, maybe 15. I just was unemployed for that time. I was still making vlogs for my university, but thinking about how much money that actually brings in.
It's minimum wage and I make a video every other week.
As soon as I got there, I was like, I knew I should have gotten the work permit for the country, but if I was spending all my time working, I wouldn't have spent as much time living, you know what I mean? It was beautiful, like pretty much every day, because I am from like Chicago, Michigan, like Midwest. I thought having it be 60 degrees was absolutely beautiful in the middle of January. A lot of people were like, it's freezing, and I'm like, bro, it's like negative 20 where I'm from, so like I am not complaining. As much as I love rainy days, it only rained like 3 times, maybe 4 times while I was there. So kind of relating to the not working thing, it was just a very expensive program, and I understand why. It was a really solid program, which I will get to. Instead of increasing the loans that we have out, my family and I, we decided I would just pay out of pocket for all the additional costs, which was pretty much like all my savings. So there's that. Before anyone jumps on me for this, I feel like the demographic of who studies abroad is just more privileged kids, people whose parents can pay for it. I don't know how else to explain that, but it was a bunch of I think that study abroad in general, not just my program, needs to be more accessible because a lot of the time it is a lot of additional costs and a lot of people therefore cannot afford that, and I think that is such a rich experience. I think that every single person who is studying at a university should have that as a viable option. I think that it helps us open our minds, our worldview, that everything that goes on in the world is not just America. No, not everyone speaks English, not everyone should speak English. I think that it just is a really enriching experience for not only your personal growth, from an academic standpoint as well. Money. While I'm thinking about it, I'll talk about the actual academics of the program. So I was part of the French honors program, and because of that, I was in all French classes. So all 5 of my courses, all 15 credit hours were completely conducted in French. Personally, I found myself growing an immense amount. Overall, I feel like academically it was a very good program. It was just rigorous enough to where like I did have to put in the work to get my work and understand the material, but at the same time, it wasn't like I was dying and couldn't even do travel on the weekends, you know what I mean? That did hinder me from taking an art class at the Marchutz Art School, which actually kind of broke my heart. There was a lot of students who were taking a lot of classes in English, which is like totally fine because we're all at different like levels of our French, but there was a lot of students who like weren't doing anything for their classes, and I was just kind of like, maybe I was just sad because I didn't want to have to put in that much work. But I also just felt like, are they even learning anything? Are they just here to say they went to France? Are they learning? Are they growing? You know what I mean? So it's just kind of like, I guess it depends on what you value. I want to talk about the fact that my professors would love them all. They were all incredible. They would cancel classes and then have us make them up another time. So for example, she canceled like 4 of our meeting times. And then as a class, we had to reevaluate all of our schedules and find time outside of the already scheduled time for our classes to meet again and make up for all the time that our professor missed. I don't know, I just feel like that's really difficult to do, and it was just kind of stressful and inconvenient. So I guess I'm just bitching about inconvenience here. Also, as I mentioned earlier, like a lot of these people who study abroad, like their parents are like paying for it, and they're like, it's fine, let me just swipe my mama's card. Good for you. Like, that's amazing. And if your parents can do that for you, like honestly, shout out to you. Shout out to your parents for like being rich, okay? But also, I don't know how to put this like well. I think this is why there's so many problems in our world and like in our country, because when you're rich, like on accident, like by default, like you're born rich, like your dad's rich, like your dad gave you like millions of dollars of loans that like you just happen to use to like turn into a billionaire, and like now you're president. Like when you grow up like that, there's so much that you miss. I don't know how to put this. I know that there are people who have it worse off than me. My parents help me when they can. I am so bad at explaining this. But also, when you're rich like that, I feel like there's a whole like chunk of value that you're missing in your life. There were so many kids who were like, that's not an iPhone. What is that? Like, I don't know how to use this. Like, does it have buttons? Like, can you call people? Like, there's a special place in my heart for all the people who just, they're just missing something, you know? But that's the thing, it's like, I don't mind because I'm not there to be rich, you know? I'm not here to dress up in my Gucci and post it on Instagram. Like, I'm here to learn and to expand my mind and experience these cultures, meet people, like, really experience life. There are so many people who just totally miss that and are there to be like, hashtag like Gucci Paris, like, wow. When you literally have in your notes, snobby iPhone kids, I can't. So let me step down for a second from my soapbox and talk about some things that I absolutely loved and thought were immensely beautiful. It was incredibly easy to travel, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. It stresses me out that there is so much more of this world that I have yet to see, and I just need to keep going. And I want to discover every single town and every person that has a story. It was convenient because in America, you know, it's not like you can just take a €6 bus to the next country. The markets, everywhere you went, there was like these open air markets that were kind of like giant garage sales, like vintage. Because you find the coolest things that you would never find in a store. All the like trinkets and jewelry and old postcards, people selling their fresh foods, their cheeses, their bread. Absolutely amazing. You meet like the sweetest people, wander, meander through the streets, listen to the people talking, and there's people playing music on the roads to, it's beautiful. Also, I loved that everywhere you go, there's these old stairs and people are just hanging out on stairs. I love that. Also, everyone just kind of hangs out in the park, and I think that that is something that we have lost in our American culture. It's so beautiful, and it's such a cool idea, and it's, you can be in nature, you can be with your friends, you can also, I guess in America, you can't crack a bottle of wine because there's like open carry laws. I don't know. America's tripping, y'all, in case you didn't know. And you're gonna find these people anywhere. Don't get me wrong. No matter where you go, what you do, you're going to find people who just complain. You are in France and you are living this amazing life. You have your host parents like cooking you dinner every single night. You are traveling to other countries like conveniently. I don't know what you have to complain about. You are learning and you are growing. Like I complain sometimes, and I'm complaining right now about people complaining, so really, am I any better? No. My next point is I think this one's funny, I slept with a duvet, okay? And for those of you who are not familiar with a duvet, so my comforter was like a blanket within a blanket, and I am a violent sleeper.
No, like for real, you guys. If you've ever slept with a duvet, do you understand my issue? Like, I don't.
That thing got messed up so easily, like every single night when you already forgot something. So I also found that it was very hard to really connect with people, and I don't know why. I still haven't figured out why it was really hard for me to just connect with a lot of these people. When I finally did, it was like 3 weeks until I had to go back, and so it was just kind of like disheartening, almost like very solitary. Also, I did a dumb thing. I exchanged some US dollars here into euros before I left, but I brought US dollars as well that I was going to exchange when I ran out. Exchanged them before like running out of the first set that I had exchanged, if that makes sense. So now I just have euros left. All in all, I'm already miss France, and I'm already leaving in the morning for another wild trip. But it was just an incredible 4 months, and 4 months was definitely, for me, not enough time. I'm already like tired of sitting in suburbia. I'm just blabbering now, so I'm just gonna shut up. Thank you everyone for tuning in. I've got a lot more fun, wild adventures coming up, so subscribe to become a part of that, and keep living large, and catch you on the flip.